The upcoming tax season will be a challenge for some filers. 2021 returns may be complicated by COVID-related benefits, such as extended unemployment benefits and stimulus checks. H&R Block is seeing challenges of its own from fintech disruptors. Here to sort it all out, H&R Block CEO Jeff Jones. Jeff, thanks so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
Great to see you. Thank you.
So let's start with the upcoming tax season. H&R Block will file more than 20 million returns. What are some of the big issues you're helping taxpayers sort through?
You know, I think this year it's coming off of two very, very unusual years, obviously, where the tax season started late and they ended late. But I think from the consumer perspective, it's really about child tax credit and making sure that those that may have missed a stimulus payment have the ability to recover the stimulus payment that they missed. So those are two unique things that we see moving into this tax season. Of course, that's in addition to what we always do, which is navigate through the literally tens of thousands of tax code changes that happen at the federal and state level and get ready to serve our clients and give them the best experience possible.
Two questions there. So one, you mentioned the child tax credit. I guess some people have gotten disbursements already thanks to the change in law. So could they end up seeing a smaller refund check, basically because they've already gotten the money?
Well, it's possible, for sure. And, you know, child tax credit is likely one piece of the puzzle for a consumer. So it depends on the rest of their lifestyle and conditions. But there's no question it's one of the things that we're helping our clients try to understand is if they're getting an advancement of that child tax credit, it may mean a reduction in their refund when that time comes.
So otherwise, are there things that your accountants are recommending people do before the end of this year, either because of changes in the law or just, you know, the oldies but goodies that everyone should be doing before the calendar changes over?
One of the classic things that we know people can do better is change their withholding based on a lifestyle change they may have had during the year. That's always a surefire way to make that decision. Do you want more in your refund or more, you know, every single week in your paycheck? You know, the typical consumer gets about a $3,000 refund. And so every dollar really matters. The stakes are high. And unfortunately, most of them have their tax refunds spent before they receive their check.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that is not good. Jack Howe, jump in here.
Jeff, how do you get young people in the door? I think of young people as wanting to do everything for themselves online and knowing everything and not wanting to pay for anything. How do you get them as customers? How do you graduate them to higher value services down the road?
About 50% of all of our new clients that come into our retail offices are millennial. Obviously, we have an incredible competitive DIY software product. But what we learned is that just because you're young and tech savvy doesn't mean you're tax savvy. And so they still rely on expertise, including what we're seeing more and more is consumers that start as DIY filers, but then they're upgrading to access human help. They push the button and on demand, they get connected to one of our tax experts to either answer their questions or check their work. That part of the business we're seeing growing 50% year over year. So access to expertise is important, really, no matter your age.
So just curious, taking a look at the stock from an investor's perspective, it's kind of troublesome for the last few years, but it's up 50% this year. So can you tell us about some of the initiatives that H&R Block is doing, including Spruce?
Last year was the best year in more than a decade for the consumer tax business. That's really driven by the work we did in pricing and quality and to digitize that tax experience so you can blend human expertise and digital tools on your terms. We're serving small business owners in more and more ways through the Block Advisor brand and Wave. And then finally, to your point about Spruce, just last week, we opened up the wait list at sprucemoney.com. This is a product we'll be launching after the first of the year, and it is a fully featured mobile banking alternative, so we can't wait to launch that product in January.
We're running low on time, but I want Ben to get a question in here.
Given the tight job market, are you having trouble hiring CPAs, especially given that some of your workforce is seasonal?
Well, there's no question labor is, our biggest asset and our biggest expense. And, we have a very, very high retention rate among our frontline professionals, our tax experts. On average, they've been with us for 10 years. And this year, as we brought back our tax experts, we saw record high retention, really driven by the strength of our business. And so the macro economic and labor conditions have not seemed to touch us quite yet.
Jeff Jones, thank you so much. I don't normally give CEOs advice, but I got to share this tip with you. If you want to drive that stock price up, just call it H&R Blockchain.
Thanks for the tip. I really appreciate that.
Anytime. Come back soon. Thanks, Jeff Jones.